two topics that weren't covered. The first is the matter of circular references. You'll recall earlier that we observed that when I overrode the spousal support amount and set it to $12,000, and then later canceled that override, that it really took like 2 cycles of calculation for the spousal support amount to settle in back at $19,047. First, it immediately, when I changed it, and it went through its first cycle of calculation, it went to 18,000 something. And then when I clicked on the update button and made it calculate everything one more time, the amount changed back to $19,047. What was happening there was an example of what's called a circular reference. Actually, this phenomenon was called to my attention some time ago in a phone call where a user observed that when they clicked on the update button, spousal support changed even though they hadn't made any changes to the file. The reason for this seemingly strange behavior is the concept of circular reference. What we mean by that is that the calculation of child support depends on the amount of spousal support, and the calculation of spousal support depends on the amount of child support. Now, the basis for this can be found essentially in 2 places. The first is ORC 3119.022, which is the statutory version of the child support worksheet. When you look at line 10 of the worksheet, it asks for annual court-ordered spousal support paid to any spouse or former spouse. There's no ambiguity there. You must consider the spousal support award in this case as you're calculating your child support. Then, with respect to the calculation of spousal support, you look at 3105.18, and you'll see that this section provides the court must consider factor I, any court-ordered payments. Does that include child support? Well, Ohio case law says that it does. And in a moment, I'll give you a case law reference on that point if you're interested. So here's what's happening when you click on the update button. Let's say you make a data change and MA performs the entire set of child support, tax, and spousal support calculations. But you have to remember it's doing it linearly, and that means that as it calculates child support, it uses the then current spousal support amount. However, the resultant change in child support causes a commensurate change in spousal support when that part of the calculation is reached. That means that the spousal support amount that yielded the original child support amount isn't the same anymore. Consequently, the next time through the calculation, MA adjusts child support to take into consideration the new spousal support amount. Then again, as a result of that child support adjustment, the spousal support calculation is now out of sync because the child support amount has changed since the time of the first pass through. It's not hard to imagine this going on forever, and I believe in some mathematical problems it does do just that. It never settles down. Thankfully, what you'll find here is that after the first pass, the support amount changes become less and less with each succeeding pass, and they typically stabilize after 2 or 3 passes. Knowing this, your first question should be whether it's possible to print a set of forms that haven't been fully updated. The answer is no. When you click on the print button, MA passes through the calculation enough times to let the spousal support and relative child support amounts stabilize before it sends the job to your printer. Finally, in this regard, as I mentioned a moment ago, I'll refer you to the fact that there's a Law Office Computing article that we published in volume 2010 number 1, and it contains a bit more information about the relationship between child support and spousal support, together with a few case citations. A reprint of that article is available as part of the downloadable materials that are included with this web video, so don't hesitate to go and take a look at that. A final concluding point is the matter of the update button. When you click the update forms button, what you're really doing is you're telling MA to perform a complete recalculation of all the forms. This is especially useful when more than one form is being displayed and you may have changed data on one that impacts the answers on another one. One reason you may need to click on this button every so often is that every time you make an entry in MA, there is an enormous amount of number crunching going on. Recall in particular that the lifestyle form by itself requires 28 sets, that is 56 tax returns, to be recalculated. All that number crunching takes some time, even at lightning computer speeds. In order to keep the program from getting bogged down, MA doesn't force a recalculation with every entry. Therefore, if you've done some work and you want to check the results of it, you probably want to click the Update Forms button every once in a while. I think when things are out of sync, if you want to check, the button will turn red, and that indicates that if you want to check some other things, go ahead and click on the button. If not, you can keep on working while the button is red and just click on it when you need to look at something else. So the bottom line is, don't worry. When you print or you do anything, save your file, you don't have to obsess about the update button. It'll pretty much take care of itself.